so great. When I walk, the whole earth shakes. I'm like,
Oh, here we go. What's good? What's good, people? Welcome back to Next Bus Please MVP Live Show. I'm your host, your boy Blunt. I'm joined today with Mr. Lloyd Archer, TWU100R Incorporated, and we got some updated news to bring to you guys about this. Let me fix you. Sorry about that. Medicare Disadvantage that's going on, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's been a lot of videos going on lately. What's good, Lloyd? How we doing? Why are you on the
Hey
wrong
man,
side there?
everything is good. Y'all gotta excuse me. I just started was chewing something before we popped up. It's gone now. I hope anyway. If you see anything on my mouth, let us know.
You know, before I go live every Monday, I'm so self-conscious that I have to go and brush my teeth before I make my coffee. I'm so conscious of having some green shit right there, and you're like, ha ha ha. So yeah. So I always brush my teeth before I go live. So yeah. What up, Ron? Ron Spring over there on Facebook. Shout out to our Facebook users. Uh, so we got some. What up, Jose? We got some news, some updated news. I don't know if you guys are gonna like it, but it's news nonetheless. You know, the
Yeah.
struggle is on with this Medicare disadvantage, right, Lloyd?
Yeah, it is. So I'm just if y'all see me moving around, I'm sorry. I'm trying to center myself with this phone. My computer wasn't acting right, so I had to get on the phone and do this with you guys tonight. Um, if you've been watching our Facebook page, you've been seeing a few videos that came up. Um, a buddy of mine, Charlie Santana, I used to work with. He worked in Flappers Depot with me. He was there before I was there, and he had a lot of time on the job, and he retired after 22 years. Well, he's in Sloan Kettering, and he has cancer. Um, the hospital wanted to release him to a rehab. It was right across the street. The rehab center told him, "We do not take Medicare Advantage."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they looked up one. They found one in Brooklyn, and for all my East New York crew, right there on Linden Boulevard in Ashford, where the 14 stops right across the street, that shithole. They brought him there, and a lot, and had a lot of junkies hanging out there. It was really a raggedy place. So he asked the ambulance, "All right, leave me here in front of the place." I said, "Charlie, you shouldn't have did that." But the ambulance drivers couldn't do it, so they called their supervisor and they brought him back to the hospital. He's still awaiting the awaiting to find a rehab place that'll accept Medicare Advantage. That's one of the obstacles that you have to deal with when you're on this plan, because if he was in traditional Medicare, they would have accepted him, and it's a good place. If it's across the street from Sloan Kettering, it's a real decent place. So those are, I mean, and to hear his story, it really brought tears to my eyes. This
Yeah,
is one of the worst.
one of the worst that we. I mean, Roz was bad, but this was even badder, and just so that people can get the full context of what we're talking about. I have Charlie's video set up, so we're gonna show it to them so that we can finish the conversation. But at least people will have an idea of what we're talking about.
Yes.
Check this out.
My name is Charlie. I'm a retired New York City bus operator. I worked for 22 years and I had traditional Medicare. And the union, Local 100, pushed me into Aetna Advantage. I'm fighting leukemia since 2017, and then it came back in 2023. It's bad. hospital discharged me to a rehab center across the street, and Aetna denied my denied me. I am 68 years old. I feel betrayed that Local 100 took away my Medicare, which was accepted with no problem, and they forced me into this crappy Aetna Advantage. I've been denied across the street, and there's a place on Linden Boulevard and Ashford, and they denied me there too. I am fighting lymphoma. They found a really bright lymph node on my neck and they took it out. They said I was okay enough to go to rehab, and Aetna denied my request. The rehab center said if I was on traditional Medicare, there would be no problem. They would accept me, no problem at all. The other place also, they called me and told me if I was on traditional Medicare, they would accept that. But Aetna denied me there too. This is the worst coverage that we could get. I was there for 22 years as a bus operator. I loved that job. I liked picking up people. I always worked the early shift, and I had the same people every day. They were good people, and I enjoyed the job. When I told them I was retiring, they were a little sad. They were going to miss my smile. And I had a good career.
All right, so that's heart wrenching to watch.
Yeah, that's bad. And I spoke to him a few days ago, a couple of days ago. He called me and he said to me, somebody from the union hall, evidently they're watching our videos, called them and asked them, what is it that you want? They didn't identify themselves. They just kept asking, what is it that you want? So I was a little upset that he didn't get his name, the person's name, but I really don't expect him to get that in his shape.
Right, right.
So I told him if they call back to get a name,
What do
and
you
I'll
want?
deal with them.
What do you
You know,
want? Fuck you mean what I want?
this is outrageous. And to you active guys out there, that's one of the demands. They want you guys to pay. I think it's 20% into your medical.
They want to
Wow,
raise it
that's
up twenty
that
percent, and then
that
the emergency visits even going up.
all of that's going up. Like I've been saying, and Blunt's been saying for the past year, they're coming after you guys next. And look, lo and behold,
Right.
we asking you guys for your help. You know, any way you can, and you guys need to start organizing for this next election today. Not wait until it comes around because these guys have to go. They're not doing anything but destroying the union altogether. They're just destroying it.
But
And
this
we
is
have
your,
go ahead,
yeah.
Blunt. Sorry.
This is what you have to look forward to. If one of the things that we've been saying since day one is we're not trying to take away your medical coverage. We're asking for the option for traditional Medicare to be put back so that you can choose whether you want to go with Medicare Advantage or you want to stay on traditional Medicare. Because as you can see with Charlie's case, the iller you get, the worse this coverage is for you. They're denying you left and right for services that traditional Medicare would give you outright. And when you're in a position like Charlie or like Roz, you're going to see Roz later on, you don't have the time to be trying to figure this stuff out. This should have been automatic. This is what you worked for. So that when you retire, you could be comfortable. You don't have to worry about things like this. But now they took that choice away, and they're going around. I don't know if they're still saying. I haven't seen anything lately on social media about it, but they've been going around saying how nobody's complaining about this Medicare Advantage. When you have situations like this going on, this is one of the reasons why we started to record, and we started to when they reach out to us, we asked them, do you mind being recorded, because we need the proof. And here's just these are just one or two examples of what's going on. There's so much more going on right now, So yeah, again, go ahead, Lloyd.
Yep. And like Blunt said, we have another person, Roz. Roz, she's a retired train operator, and if you guys remember, if you've been following us, last year sometime or the year before last, she needed a defibrillator, and Aetna denied the defibrillator and gave her this vest that she put on, and she lives in Texas, where it's 105 degrees at any given time. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's hot there.
Well, it could be up to 100. It ain't off by much if you are.
Yeah, we know it's hot there and it's flat. So now moving forward with it, we found out that she needs a valve replacement. So, of course, the hospital called the insurance company, and they denied it. And as we talked to her more, and as she talked to Etna more, the Etna wants her to have her chest cracked open to replace this valve. She, by the way, she gave us permission to speak about it. Um, so I'm putting two and two together. If you okay in her chest being cracked open instead of being going through, I think I don't know what they use. They go through the groin and fix problems with your heart or your arm or whatever. So all I could think about,
Yeah.
the other one is the cheaper, the one that'll kill you.
The
You
more
understand?
invasive one
Yeah,
is cheaper.
it'll probably kill you, and they okayed that.
Uh,
So she's having her surgery in the morning. I want everybody to keep her in your prayers. You know that she pulls through this. She's a good person. She was a union rep. She worked with me up at the union hall for a few years, and we have her story. If you want to cue that up, Blunt.
yeah, we have a story. I'm gonna cue it up, right? But I gotta come back and I gotta explain something about her story too. You ready?
Go ahead. Let's go.
Listen to. This is Rod's second time. Remind you, this is the second time. The first time she had about them denying her defibrillator, but now watch this.
Clerk, a conductor, train operator, union rep for Local 100. I'm having medical challenges. 3 years ago, I needed a defibrillator. I was in the hospital with 30% rate of my heart, and Edna denied me the defibrillator. Fast forward to now, I need a heart valve replacement. My valve stays open. As a result, I can't do household chores. I can't cook for my grandkids. I cannot take care of myself. I am bedridden, and whoever's listening, whoever knows me, knows that I'm an active person, but I need you to get involved and pay attention because we need traditional Medicare back. I just celebrated a birthday, June 29th, and I turned
Eric, if you
69
could hear
years
me, we
old.
can't
I
hear it.
never thought that I would be almost bedridden at 69.
We couldn't hear it.
You guys couldn't hear that?
Nah.
I was playing it on my TV, so I think it went through. Probably me and you probably couldn't really hear it
Hear it.
because
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping you guys let me know, did that video come out clean? Were you guys able to hear what Roz was saying? Because if not, I'm gonna have to replay it. But it looked like it was going through on my TV. I guess you guys know my computer over here is just really, really acting up. So I have my TV on where I can see it. I have my phone on too, but my phone volume's low, so it won't get feedback here. Okay, all right, thanks, Primo. What's up, man? Appreciate you, bro. You got to come over one day. So yeah, everybody else heard it. It's just
All right, good.
my
Good.
computer is not acting right. But that's been my whole day, Lloyd. It's been just
Okay.
one of those fucking days.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, so about Roz's decision, both Roz and Charlie, right? You guys need to understand this. They're looking right now. Aetna is trying to reach out to both of them. They reached out to Roz. They reached out to Charlie. Well, the rude dude reached out to Charlie. I don't know who that guy was, and that was because Marianne's intervention. She actually went and called the head of Aetna. She had met him a while ago in a court, and she reached out to them to explain these two specific cases to them. So without her doing that, who knows if they will have even reached out to them. So hopefully that denial or whatever gets overturned. Roz is having her surgery tomorrow, right?
Yeah, in the morning.
So hopefully, knock on wood, everybody, please, if you can, send this out for Roz. Hopefully has a very successful, speedy surgery and a recovery afterwards, where she won't need to have any defibrillator or anything else stopping her from living her life. Because as you heard in her video, she's a very active person, and right now she could barely do anything. She could barely talk. She wasn't as bad as Charlie, but you could tell that she's not used to being in that type of situation. And I completely understand where she's coming from with that. When you're used to just getting up and doing things, and now all of a sudden you can't. It's a shock to the system, and
It is.
it can do things to you mentally that people just really don't understand unless you actually are going through what she's going through. And we're not trying to sensationalize what's happening with this, We're just trying to open people's eyes, because we've been saying, if you're not healthy, you're healthy, Aetna's probably the best thing you could get. If you're healthy, the problem is you don't know if that's going to continue for the rest of your life. Accidents happen, inherited diseases come about at certain times, and just sheer bad luck can hit you at any moment, change your life, and now you're gonna have to deal with these types of situations. That's gonna be a strain on your life. Not just you personally, but your family and friends. These become strains on them. They get stressed. They worry about you to the point where fatigue and everything kicks in, and their lives are just completely uprooted. And that changes your relationship with them, because some people, they resent you for it. It's no easy way to say it. It doesn't matter how deep the love goes. And if this is something that's consistent, or they see is going to be consistent with you in your future, where you're going to keep having these problems like this, they start to resent you. They pull away. So actives, you need to be paying attention. You need to be making moves. That's why I'm glad that we have people like Jose Figueroa, ABM Marshall from Operators on the Loose, Haley. I know there's a lot of things going on about Haley, but I don't care about none of that stuff. Haley is actively involved with this, and that's what I care about. Because the bottom line is, if what we're trying to achieve, what up, James? What up, Venice? What we're trying to achieve happens, then every one of you will benefit from this. You will have the option to stay on something that you've been paying for since you started working, and that's traditional
Yep.
Medicare. It
Absolutely.
may not, it might be the best fucking plan you could get, but it's better than this Medicare Advantage. I tell you that. Again, if you're healthy, great, but you have to plan for the future. Just like how those insurance guys come to the depots and they tell you about Aflac and Travelers and whatever else insurance that you can get just in case something happens, and they'll cover you, for give you help you pay your bills. This is something like that, right? You want to be able to get sick in peace. It's the weirdest shit. I never thought I would say something
Yeah, I
like
mean, hey,
that.
yeah, you're right, and not worry. You're right. Absolutely right.
Yeah, it's
It's it's,
crazy.
it's
I
hard. It's
mean,
bad. It's something crazy to say, but you get
it
sick
is.
and you worrying about, oh shit, if I go to the hospital, are they gonna take my coverage? Am I gonna get to see a
Right.
doctor? And just getting back to what you were
Not,
saying about the union reps calling Roz and Charlie. Let me and people are going to say that, okay, the union called them and they're trying to fix it. Let me just explain something to the people. Traditional Medicare, we paid for all our lives, right? So
FICA.
absolutely FICA. So if you had traditional Medicare, 99.9% of hospitals and doctors accept that because they know they're going to get paid. This is that's the federal government paying for your medical that you actually paid into, again, like he said, FICA. And they'll say, okay, well, they're getting it fixed. No, 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 no. We don't want that. We don't have to worry about whether that hospital or that doctor that I've been going to for 20 years is going to take this coverage, or this specialist that I've been going to that I need is going to take it, or if I'm going to have this gigantic copay, or if I'm going to receive this big bill. And one more thing, a lot of you active guys say, Medicare don't affect me. Well, it don't affect you now, bro, but one day you're gonna be my age.
Hopefully,
And
knock on wood.
now, right, I hope every last one of you get to be my age and live your lives after you retire. So stop looking into the future now, and stop living for the now.
Start looking into it, and that's so important to understand. Is to look, excuse me, to look into the future, to set yourself up for winning. Right? I couldn't think of a better word. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just to set yourself up for a better future, right? And your family, right? I mean, let's take myself for an example. One morning, got up about 3 o'clock, was working the early shift, took a shower, whatever, do the basics, got on my motorcycle, headed to work. It's like almost 4 in the morning. Boom. Life changed in an instant. I didn't go home from that day until after 2 years of being in the hospital, because some lady decided she wanted to turn and didn't bother to look and see if there was anybody coming across where she was turning. So while I was in there, one of the main things that I was worried about was my bills. Believe it or not, I'm in there. I got poles and I got this big tree of mechanical shit and all kinds of fluids going in and out, and I'm worried about the bills in my house. I'm worried about my ex. I'm worried about my daughter. It took them it took them so many arguments for me to let that go. To For them to say, because they kept telling me, listen, don't worry about it. We got this. We got this. You worried about getting better. I couldn't. I was just worried about the fucking bills have to be paid. How is this going to happen? One of the best things I did was take one of those people's advice that came to the depot and was selling their insurance. I ended up signing up for Travelers. A lot of people having problems with Travelers. I understand that. For me, in my case, they came through. All I needed was the paperwork. What up, Choppy? All I needed was the paperwork. And I had you guys. Some of y'all may know the story. Patrick Cruz used to come up to see me all the time. He brought the paperwork up to the hospital for me, along with my ex. Had the doctors fill it out, send it, check came. No problem. And another thing is, one of my credit cards, Discover, and I will always vouch for them. When Discover found out that I was in the hospital because of my accident, it took them all but like 2 seconds to say, "Oh, okay. Well, what we'll do for you is we'll defer the payments for 2 years." So I didn't have to worry about that credit card for 2 years
Wow.
just because I was in the hospital. So it's things like that that you need to think about and try to work your way towards so that you can be comfortable in cases situations like mine's where I was in the hospital for 2 years, a year and a half in ICU and 6 months in rehab. So, but the bills were being paid, right? Not only that, daughter graduated high school, on to college. That's another bill, right? She's going to college. How am I supposed to help pay that, right? So I ended up helping pay that because I had the insurance that was backing up my check. I was getting 60%, and that Travelers was covering the rest. So my ex didn't have to really dig into her savings that much, So you got to worry about your future, and one of the problems that we have, Lloyd, is that we no longer have the OGs at the depot schooling the young ones, and that's just half of it. It's not the whole thing. The OGs would take you under the wing, and they school you about what's to come, right?
Right.
And then we also have, and I'm, you know, people are going to take this the way they're going to take this, but we have the assholes
Say
coming
it.
in and think they know
Say it.
everything. They think they know every fucking thing, and they ain't
Say
trying to
it.
listen to the OGs. They like the OGs need to go ahead and retire already instead of talking to them to gain the knowledge that they have. They want to do it
Especially
on
the
their own.
ones that's willing to give you the knowledge, and
Right.
not chastise you. Just tell you something. If they're telling you something in this ear, try to let it sit in the middle of
Let
your
us.
head because whatever they're saying to you, they're
It's.
experienced. And believe me,
Mm-hmm.
if you're on that job long enough, you'll experience the same things. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta try to just take a deep breath, listen to what they say. You don't have to listen to everything. You don't have to do everything they say, but if you have a mind of your own, you'll know what's right and what's wrong. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like me. I've been retired 11 years. I started that job back in 89. Those old timers always told me, listen, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Just one time I didn't listen to what one of them told me. And I was got into a world of hurt behind that. Every time after that, like I said, I listened to what they said and I retained it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here trying to give, if you younger guys are on this stream, we're not trying to chastise you anyway. But like I said, if you live long enough, you'll become my age and you'll need to have medical coverage. If you drive that bus long enough, your body is going to break down. Believe me when I tell you, all kinds of things are going to happen to you. Bad back, bad knees. God forbid some jackass does something to you while you're driving because they don't want to pay their fare. You know, you can forget about the union helping you, all right, because they show videos of them giving everybody a pep talk when they come into the come on the job, as though they such a strong union. That union ain't shit, all right? And I'm here to tell you, anytime a union that sells out their most vulnerable, the retirees that paved the way for most of the guys that's in that up at that union hall, that's horrible. That's disgraceful.
It is. It's and that's what really irks me about this whole situation because it was done by the union. They allowed the MTA is going to do what MTA is going to do. They're going to go after whatever they can get after. That's how the company works, right? But the union is supposed to be that barrier that stops them from overstepping, and they allowed them to take away traditional Medicare, thinking I don't know what they're thinking. This is an assumption by me, right?
Yeah.
So this is an assumption. They're thinking that this plan is superior, right? You've heard your elected officials say that this is a superior plan. We have a judge that say otherwise, as far
Exactly.
as our case is concerned. But with our case, though, we need to talk a little bit about that, about
Yeah,
our
we
case,
do.
because it didn't go the way that we like, right? Not, not our fault. They were, I don't know. I got to think of the words, Lloyd.
Well,
But
it 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 was
yeah, you
let me
see
just
what I'm
put it this
saying?
way. It was the representative that we had.
Right.
Um, a lot of things he didn't follow. Um, but the judge saw and he left the door open. He said, "Yeah, I do agree that Medicare Advantage is this Aetna is an inferior um
And that's a direct
medical."
quote. That's a
Yes.
direct quote from the judge.
So what we're doing now, and then I'm not gonna just put it on our lawyer. All right. One of the other things in the decision was there wasn't enough evidence. I don't know if you guys are as on here remember us begging people for affidavits if they're having a problem and to send them to the post office box. It wasn't happening. We should have had hundreds and hundreds of affidavits because whether it be your medication, whether your doctor don't take the coverage no more, um, it didn't happen. So we're moving to another avenue, and this is the worst. We need, and it's a shame that we have to go down this road. We need egregious testimonies to take this back to court. And Roz and Charlie is one, and we showed a couple of one more guy in Atlanta that
Kevin.
Kevin. Yeah, he's one of the guys that I forgot the name. Grady Hospital in Atlanta does not, and that's an excellent hospital. Does not take that coverage anymore. Um, we had another young lady. I forgot her name. Medication that she needs for asthma. They denied that. They stopped
Yeah.
giving that to her.
I think
We
that
have a
was
few more in the
Cynthia.
queue. Cynthia, I think that's what her
Cynthia,
name.
yeah. Yeah, they denied her albuterol. They denied other medications that she needs. And if she has to come out of pocket, it will cost her about $400 a month extra. I mean, these are. Cynthia is one of the light cases, mind you. Now, I'm not saying that what she's experienced is nothing. It's huge, but compared to what Charlie and Roz is going through, it's ridiculous. I mean, listening to when we was interviewing Charlie, it was it was hard to listen to. It was hard to listen to, and I don't know, maybe because of my accident, my emotions are now on my sleeve. Uh, it was hard to listen to. I was on the verge of crying for the man. He was just struggling just to tell us his situation, and he has to deal with this. This is the shit that pisses me off, and I get angry, and I just wonder how can any union rep who's supposed to be helping this man not see this and want to join the fight to get the traditional Medicare back. I mean, we know as just from experience alone that when these officials, when these officials make a mistake, that it is next to impossible. I have never seen it personally, but it's next to impossible for them to say, I fucked up, I made a mistake, let me see if I can fix this. It's like pulling teeth. I don't understand that mentality. It's that,
Right.
I don't want to bring his name up, but it's like Trump. You just deny, and lie. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
fuck.
And I just and what kills me, most of the officers up there now were there when this contract was negotiated, and they passed the contract. And not one of them, like Blunt just said, not one of them will say, "Damn, that's fucked up. I didn't know it was that bad. That was what we did was horrible. Shouldn't have did this shit to the retirees."
Right.
But they have to. They don't want to get fired. In other words, you can't go against the grain. So they'll continue. They'll continue. They'll continue holding it down until they get sick, and then they wind up having a problem.
Exactly.
And
Once it
guess
hits
who had?
home,
And guess who's not gonna have no sympathy? I might go stand over you in the hospital and say, "You need
how's it going?
traditional Medicare? Well, you ain't got it."
How's it going? You good?
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know, it's just so frustrating, and a lot of these people I consider, you know, friends, and I'm not loose with that word, friends. I don't even like to say that shit on Facebook, you know, or TikTok. I don't like to say that friends, followers, associates. Sure, great. Friends, very very tight with that word. I have about, you could count on one hand how many real friends I have that I consider friends. Everybody else, I can be cool with you. That's cool. That don't mean you're my friend. There's just a different meaning for me. The same thing with leaders. I don't call everybody leaders. To this day, even when we talking about the union, I call them elected officials. When I see that you can lead, I'll give you the title. So I don't know. That's just me. You know, I don't think a lot of these people who have been elected are leaders. I think you have to get your feet wet, and I have to see certain decisions that you make that may go against the grain, that may be hard, as long as it's the right thing for the members. That's what I'm all for. That's why I don't have a problem with when Tramiel does certain things. I have a problem with a lot of shit he does, but when he does certain things, as long as it's to benefit the members, I'm all for it. He will always have my support. Evangeline, when she does things that's going to benefit the members, I'm all for it. She'll always have my support for that. Anybody who's out there doing things that's going to help the members, I'm all for it. I'm all for the members. Sometimes I get upset when they don't do certain things, but that's just them. It's not my legacy they're ruining. It's theirs.
Absolutely.
Smooth
Oh,
says TW Local 100 officers think the members exist to provide them with position and union release. Yeah, exactly,
absolutely right.
exactly.
Bingo. Absolutely right. My phone
It's,
is dying, y'all, so I gotta plug it in. But I just want to just make a quick announcement. July 25th, All right, it's not nailed down yet, but we're gonna have a meet and greet, TW100R. We want you guys to come out, and if you have any questions, and we need to uh, explain to you where we're going with this case
Mm-hmm.
and what's needed, if you're willing to give us a hand. Uh, it should be interesting. Light refreshments will be there. The date and time, the time and place will be soon posted somewhere or on a flyer. It's going to be in
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn, all right, but we're waiting to nail down the exact day. It may be the 25th of this month. If you're not doing
Right.
anything, come out. If you're off, come on out.
Yeah, it's a tentative date. As soon as we get a confirmation, the flyer will go out. It'll be on my personal page, TW100 Inc.'s page, and be shared around. So be on the lookout for that flyer. But we definitely going to have it in person, hopefully, because we need to discuss all that, and we need you guys to be there. We need as many actives to join that meeting as possible. It'll be nice to have a packed room, like completely
Exactly.
packed. You know.
And
So and
if there's actives on here and they got any rookies that they got under their wings with them, bring them.
yeah, have them
Bring
come.
them.
Make a trip out of it, a day trip. Let
Right.
them know that way they know what they got to look forward to. You know, some of this stuff is just it's absolutely retarded that you guys have to be going through this. And you know, we sat down with some of y'all don't like her, but I don't. It is what it is. We sat down with AOC's what do they call it again, Lloyd?
The
Their
staff, the
staffs.
staffs. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a Zoom meeting with AOC staff a couple of times, and we're working on the political side so that it's not just with the local try to get that traditional Medicare put back, but also on the political side so that this doesn't happen anymore. Period, to anybody in the country, because it's a travesty, man. So this is bigger than just the local. You know, I mean, if you follow politics, you know how this Medicare Advantage is just terrible. It's all over the country. One of the things that Elizabeth Warren said was it was created to help save money from traditional Medicare, and it just hasn't worked. It's costing billions more. It's just not working. So, but the thing is, they can't just take it back. They have to, certain things have to be done. And one of the things that needs to be done is they have to prove that it's not working. And you have things like Roz and Charlie and Kevin and Julio. I mean, we have people that are suffering big time. That shows that this is not working. But when you're dealing with a company like Aetna, who has deep pockets, it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, just trying to go against MTA alone, it's a 3-4 year battle or 5 in court. So you gotta have deep pockets for that, and that's why we're constantly asking for donations, constantly, because these lawyers ain't cheap and they don't work for free. I wish we
Exactly.
could. I wish we could have somebody that worked for free, but
Exactly. It's on pro bono. Somebody's
Slew.
asking the question, Blunt.
Yes, Slew says, Lloyd, there is a way for the members to initiate impeachment proceedings against all the corrupt local 100 officers. Is there? He's asking it. Is there a way for the members impeachment? Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Is there?
you can't definitely go to the international because the international is locked up by John Samuelson. Um, there is a way, but I forgot the organization it is. I don't know it offhand, but if you go to our page, I'll get it to Blunt and he'll get it to you. Actually, Anita told me to tell Holly to write to them. because what's going on with Local 100 is a travesty.
Mm-hmm.
There is a way, but and people think you can go to the international. It's a waste of time. You got to understand, Local 100 gives the international is one of the largest locals of TWU, and they give the international a few $1 million.
Right. That
So
money.
yeah, it comes out of your dues.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that people don't know. And what do they do for it? I mean, they went along with this Medicare Advantage for their retirees. I have no respect for them neither. And when you see John Samuelson, he said, "Oh, I had nothing to do with it," and I tell him, "You a goddamn liar. You
Mm-hmm.
put us in. We had United Healthcare. You put us in Aetna in 2012, right? And that was the pathway for the retirees, or they were already in it because I was still working. They auto enrolled the retirees in Florida, which they love it because they get a little bit of money back at the end of the year, and they have a
Mm-hmm.
fixer down there, a personal fixer down there for them when they have problems."
Exactly. They have a liaison that as soon as something goes wrong, they could call, and she works it out for them. I mean, I'm glad that that's happening, but what they don't understand that it shouldn't come to that. You shouldn't have to have a liaison. You shouldn't be getting any of those problems that you're having. You know, it's
You-
ridiculous.
You're nice. You said a liaison is a fixer,
Right.
to keep them off their ass, and no, I'm not going to say that because I don't know, they might try to come after me, but what did they get for doing this to the retirees, and why didn't ATU get it? Why didn't Local 10 TW 106 get it in their contract?
Mhm.
Why was it just Local 100?
In fact, you had like here on Staten Island, the union out here made sure that they don't get the Medicare Advantage. They changed the bylaws so that it doesn't happen to them. So if it was such a good thing, why would they go through those? Why would they do that? Because they understand that it's not. It's just not. You know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I
I
don't
know
know.
these with not the retirees. These active members need to get involved in this as like right now. You know, start talking about it. Ask their depot chairmans, their what are they called?
The
I'm
Stewart,
at a
shop
loss. The
steward.
steward there, yeah, the stewardess. To ask them about them. Go to the TWU100R Inc. page. Talk to the retirees there. Ask questions. It's big. It's really big, and unfortunately, a lot of people wait until it actually affects them to want to start doing something about it. You know, and that's just too late at that point. I mean, we're gonna take all the help we can get, but once you're already affected, your effect is we trying to prevent people from getting affected by this, and people just don't care because it doesn't affect them, so they don't care. I ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah. Until
does.
it affects them, because we still
Yeah.
uh, we're getting posts on our page. "Oh, I'm having problems with this. When did this start?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, I try to be nice. I'm older now. I follow Steve Harvey. He said he want to get old and cuss. I try not to cuss, but we've been talking about this for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said at the beginning of the program, the union was telling people that nobody's complaining. I guess because they're going around, once they go up to the union hall and say, "We got a problem." "Oh yeah, well, let me fix it for you." They
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're just trying to, the retirees association up there. They need to validate them for them getting all this money, um, from the dues money, or what. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing, you active members need to ask. You're paying 2% out of your paycheck every pay period. that's supposed to go to retirees' health benefits. You just need to know how much money is in that fund. I bet you millions and millions of dollars. We shouldn't have to pay for nothing for a long time.
Smooth, that is what we've been doing. We have, Smooth says, can a member ever bring suit against Local 100 for the shit that the Local 100 is allowing the transit authority to do? That is what our, I guess you could say our lawsuit is about. It's both them, the local, and MTA. And while the proceedings are going, Aetna decided they wanted to chime in also on our suit. And both, well, Aetna, the local, and I don't know if MTA said, but Aetna and the local is definitely saying that, oh, they're not receiving any complaints. And that was part of the crux in our case is we didn't have enough complaints from people to help us. So they kind of shut the door on that, but the door is still kind of open. And that's one of the things that we're going to discuss at the live meeting. So if you can, Smooth, I don't know where you live at, but when we get the official date, when the date is confirmed, you'll see a flyer go up. It'll be on my personal page, TWU100R 100. Am I saying that right? Yeah.
TWR. That's the Facebook page.
That's the Facebook page. If you're not a part of that, go there, join that. It'll definitely be there, but it'll definitely be on my personal page. It'll be on my Next List Please WhatsApp. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where you live at, Smooth, but it's going to be in Brooklyn, and you'll know ahead of time. That way, if you can make it, come through. It'd be nice to meet you in person. Matter of fact, Smooth, I don't know. Are you on? I don't know. Are you on TikTok, Smooth? Because I seen somebody with the same name. I don't know if that's you or not, but I just seen it today. Smooth Operator. So I was wondering. I wonder if that's you. It says. Jose says y'all need to attend active. Yeah, seriously, y'all need to attend active. Seriously, they do. I mean, spread the word. If you're active watching this now, spread the word. Let them know the meeting's coming up tentatively the 25th, but to be on the lookout for the flyer to get the official date and time. It's definitely going to be in Brooklyn. If you've been to one of our meetings, it's the same spot we had it before. To come out with questions. Definitely come out with questions, because we're gonna need to. We gotta explain a couple of things. It's gonna affect you. There's no getting around it. You may not feel the pain now, but you will feel it. Trust me, it's coming. It's coming.
It is. It is coming.
You guys, you seen the videos of both Roz and Charlie. Charlie's heart-wrenching. Roz last time was heart-wrenching itself. Hopefully they get the care they deserve. And we're looking out for more. If you have a story of you being either denied, delayed services, or your hospital, like in Florida, where the whole West Coast found out that their hospital left the network, but they got it fixed because they got the fixer down. So
right, exactly. There you go. You don't call it a liaison. You got to fix it. Sound like some gangster shit. Yeah.
So she fixed it for them, so they didn't even think nothing of it. And it's like, dude, you just said the hospitals left the network, like, and it was half of the West Coast of Florida that it did it to. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that wouldn't have happened with traditional Medicare. But, things like that. If your hospital leaves a network, if your prescription prices are going up, if they're denying you certain services or they're delaying certain services, then we need to hear from you. The more people, the better. It's not that we're wishing it on you. We just need to hear the stories, because they're not believing that there's anything wrong with this Medicare Advantage when there clearly is. And, of course, because we're fighting this case, like Jose says down here, donate, folks, please donate. We need to fight this. And that's what we're doing. But we are retired.
Exactly.
We don't have overtime,
Right.
but
We're on a fixed income.
yeah, we need as much as your money as we can get. We put our money in there. We putting our effort and we putting our time in there, and we just need the help because we're not talking $5,000-$10,000 here. You know, to look we had let's see, one of the lawyers is it's like $500 an hour just to look at the case. You know, it's like what, and
Yeah.
that's what we have to deal with. You know, so I believe the asking price for the appeal was around 60K, and that's just like the down payment. That's not when the case is carrying on and more things have to be filed and paperwork has to get copied and stuff like that. That doesn't count in none of that $60,000 that they ask you. And you know that's that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. And with that said, I should have listened to my mother that stayed in school and became a lawyer.
Facts, facts, facts. Yeah. So when you see us asking for donations, whatever you can spare, it you know 5, 10, like Jose is saying, whatever you can spare. Monthly donations is more than welcome. That helps give us peace of mind knowing that we could keep the funds going for these cases because you know it's going to take another 3 or 4 years in court to fight this. Marianne's been fighting this on her side with her case, which is very similar to ours, for 9 years, 10 years now, and she's still fighting.
Right, and
You
exactly.
know,
But they don't. But
and it can't be won.
she beating them off. They're not in traditional Medicare, but they're getting them to pay all these different co-pays and whatnot. But they still have their Medicare, and until something happens.
Yep, exactly.
I would have been.
What up, Anthony? What's good, man? So yeah, guys, that's about it for now. You will see. Be on the lookout for the flyer. It's coming soon. Again, as soon as we get a confirmation on the day, then the flyer will be out there, be put out there. But again, get speak to your fellow coworkers if you're active right now. Speak to them. Let them know what's going on. This is not a game. We're not a sham. We're not trying to scam you for your money. We have been to court. We're still going to court, and we're trying to get this done for you guys. So I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. Well,
Any last words, Lloyd?
yeah. Again, you active guys, try to grab one of your younger guys with you, or some of your younger active guys, or some guys that's halfway through, and bring them to the meeting so that we could discuss things with them. I know there's other questions they want to ask, and what you guys need to do is start organizing now to remove this riffraff from up there at 95 Montague Street.
Start getting
That's
them out. Start talking to them, asking them what their priorities are, and if this medical issue is not one of them, cut them out. Get somebody in that's willing to work with you for what you need. Right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So with that said, Lloyd, appreciate you coming through.
Thanks a lot, man, for having me.
Yes, sir. There's a lot of important information here. And guys, appreciate you watching. You could have been anywhere in the world, chose to be here. And for that, I feel blessed and I thank you. And that's the end of the show. Fuck them if they can't take a joke.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.
You stuck.
It's still moving. I'm watching it on my TV.
Oh, okay.